ever wondered why a spoon gets hot when you stir a pot of soup? Well, that's heat in action. Heat is a form of energy that comes from the motion of atoms and molecules. It's all around us in the warmth of a sunny day, the heat from a crackling fire, or the steam rising from your morning cup of coffee. We interact with heat every day, but what exactly is it? Heat is the flow of energy from a body at a higher temperature to one at a lower temperature. It's like a crowd of people moving from a packed room into an empty one, until the number of people in both rooms is about the same. This process of energy transfer happens in three ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Each of these modes has its unique characteristics and examples, which we'll delve into in the upcoming scenes. So, heat, in essence, is the transfer of energy from a body of higher.
सफलता हमारा परिचय दुनिया से करवाती है और असफलता हमें दुनिया का परिचय करवाती है। जीत कर दिखाओ उनको जो तुम्हारी हार का इंतजार कर रहे हैं।
Temperature to one of lower temperature. Before we dive deeper into the world of heat and temperature, let's lighten the mood with a quick laugh. Imagine atoms and molecules doing a dance, the heat dance. When they're cold, they're sluggish, barely moving, like they're doing the slow dance at a high school prom. But when they're hot, they're bouncing around like they're at a rave, full of energy and excitement. Now picture a spoon in a hot soup. The atoms in the spoon are initially doing a slow dance, but as they come into contact with the hot soup, they start to dance faster and faster, essentially heating up. So the next time you stir your soup, imagine the spoon's atoms doing the heat dance. Now, wasn't that a fun way to think about heat? Let's dive back into the science with a smile on our faces, shall we? So, how do we measure this heat, or more accurately, the temperature of an object? Well, we use a nifty little device known as a thermometer. Now, temperature is essentially a measure of how hot or cold something is. In other words, it's the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. But how does a thermometer work, you ask? It's actually quite simple. Most thermometers contain a liquid like mercury or alcohol that expands or contracts when it's heated or cooled. This change is then read off on a scale to give the temperature. Speaking of scales, there are three main ones we use to measure temperature: Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. The Celsius scale is widely used around the world, especially in scientific contexts. Fahrenheit, on the other hand, is commonly used in the United States. Lastly, the Kelvin scale is used in the realm of physics and deals with absolute temperatures. Thus, a thermometer helps us quantify how hot or cold something is. Now that we know what heat is and how to measure it, let's understand how it moves around. Heat transfer happens in three main ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. When you stir your hot soup with a spoon, and the spoon becomes hot, that's conduction. Heat is transferred from the hot soup to the cooler spoon, traveling along the metal. Ever noticed how water boils? It starts from the bottom and works its way up. That's convection. Warm water rises because it's less dense than cooler water, which sinks only to be heated and rise again, creating a cycle. And then there's radiation. No, not the scary kind. Ever felt the warmth of the sun on your skin? That's radiation. The heat travels through space from the sun to you. In all these cases, remember, heat travels from a hotter body to a colder one. So whether it's stirring hot soup or feeling the warmth of the sun, it's all about heat transfer. Ever felt a cool breeze by the sea during a hot day? Let's unravel the science behind it. This soothing sensation is a result of a natural phenomenon known as the sea breeze. During the day, the land heats up faster than the sea. The hot air over the land rises, creating a low-pressure area. The cooler air from the sea rushes in to fill this space, resulting in a refreshing sea breeze. Now let's flip the scenario. At night, the land cools down quicker than the sea. The warmer air over the sea rises, causing a low-pressure area. The cooler air from the land moves towards the sea to balance the pressure, leading to what we call a land breeze. These are fascinating examples of convection, a process where heat transfer occurs due to temperature differences. So the next time you feel a sea breeze or a land breeze, remember, it's just nature's way of transferring heat.